Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. This is Around the Blockchain. We come to you Monday through Friday at 5:05 Eastern Standard Time. That is right. It's one of those rare chances you get to see DZ host 2 shows in one day. Ben normally doesn't let me do that, but he's in Florida. What's he gonna do? He's looking to count some chads or something. I don't know what he's doing down there. No, he's gonna be doing the big crypto conference. We'll be at NFT Basel tomorrow and the Decentraland thing. So we're going to have a live ATB tomorrow. We might pre-shoot it just in case there's audio issues. And then, so yeah, we'll have a special episode tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's a great show. We got some great guests. We have one jumping in shortly. We'll give them a few minutes, but we're going to continue on. It's Crypto Face. We'll go ahead and say it. It's Crypto Face. You don't gotta put it on a shot right there. What if he jumped in without like a shirt or something? So let's be careful with that just in case. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. We got some great topics, some great guests, and we're gonna lead with Jayson Casper. It's the first time doing an episode with him. Looking forward to it. You know, I know him from his early Market Cipher streams way back in the day, before you even showed your face. And now look at you, man. You're out there hitting the plows and hitting the trades too. I love to see it. You doing good?
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Also, we have one of my favorite traders. If you check out his Twitter, he has some really good dot calls. Polkadot. We've been talking about Polkadot. You have to go to his Twitter. He's broke it down real well. I don't want to, give away his secrets here. So you have to go check out Gareth Soloway. It's at Gareth Soloway. I was talking about dot last week. Then Gareth talks about it a week later. I'm saying he usually he knows those good picks. So if we're agreeing on something, it's something maybe worth looking into. So definitely check out his Twitter at Gareth Holloway. Also, we have always rocking the shades. Are they Tom Fords? We don't know what they are. It's Tom Crown on the location right now. He's on the road. I don't know where he's at. Looks like he's in a lobby of what are you at? A La Quinta?
Something like that, yeah.
All right. He doesn't want to dox himself. He's only there for 12 hours, but we better not dox ourselves.
Yep.
All right. We got a great show. It's our lightning round. Who has a better December coming up? Cardano or XRP? Cardano gang, ADA gang. Where you at? Let's see a little hashtag ADA gang in the chat. Also, XRP Army. Go ahead, both of y'all, smash that like button. Let's rock it through 1,000. We're only at 300 something, so let's go ahead. Rookie numbers. Let's get those numbers up. Also, Jack Dorsey stepping down from Twitter. This is huge news. And we have a Bitcoin bounce possibly beginning. We're going to look at it. We have 4 of the best traders in all of the business checking it out, so you're definitely going to look at that. But before we do all that, it is everyone's favorite time. It is Market Watch time. So let's break down what the markets are doing. It's been a green day. It's been a good day, so it's looking good. We have Bitcoin at 58,000, up 4%. Ethereum up 5%, almost at that 4,500 spot. We have BNB looking pretty good, 625. I think its recent high was around 660. I actually sold the top a little bit, and I didn't buy any when it was cheaper, so now, I don't know if I'm a FOMO. I'm going to have to look at the charts. Solana looking good. Cardano looking pretty decent. 20% gain for Tezos. OKB up. Matic up double digits. $1.78. Look at that. Looking good. And if we look at some of the top losers, really nothing that bad. I mean, we have Crypto.com cooling down a little bit, but I mean, it's just been on an insane tear lately. Now, we are going to cover Bitcoin a little bit more in depth, but before we get into that, Gareth, I want to ask a couple opinions on Ethereum. We saw Bitcoin just dropping. It touched 69,000, fell mid 50s, even a little bit lower. And then Ethereum dropped, but it didn't want to go below 4,000. Now, when it had that just insane support, it would dip below and it would be right above it, shortly thereafter. Was this more of a psychological testing, or was this, the technicals, and it was kind of, you could have removed the USD and you'd still see it in the charts? Well, what do you think was creating that bounce off of 4,000?
Yeah, so even numbers definitely have some power to them, that psychological side. And I also think the dip down to 4,000 coincided, I believe it was JP Morgan that said something about Ethereum actually outperforming Bitcoin going forward. So I think the combination of those helped keep it up. It's still kind of one of the ones there people are believing that it'll outperform Bitcoin and actually take over Bitcoin's kind of championship ring there. So I think that was a combination of it.
Yeah, I kind of talked on it this morning. What do you think is more likely to 2x? just say over the next 12 months, maybe even 2 years, if you think that was the top, what is more likely to 2x sooner, Ethereum or Bitcoin?
I would go with Ethereum. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. I think Ethereum. I think Bitcoin, there's still some gains to be made, but I think Ethereum has just a little bit more upside. There's a lot of different reasons, but a lot of it just has to do with it's just being, it's disappearing off the exchanges. And when it hits these people's wallets, they're locking it up, whether it's for DeFi, they're burning it in gas fees, minting some NFTs, or parking it in a picture of a monkey that they're never going to sell. So, I think that's definitely what we have going on. And now we'll go ahead and introduce him. He is back. We're just in time for the lightning round. We have Crypto Face coming in strong. Now, Crypto Face, are you the next Dana White or Don King? Because I see you making these moves in these mixed martial artists camps. What's going on with that?
Oh man, shout out to Mike Perry. He's my friend. And so I just wanted to, support him, and it was cool. It was cool sponsoring Mike and Frank Mir. So I'm just doing me, man, for my community, having a good time. Sorry I'm late, guys. Wow, we have a killer cast today.
Yeah, it's all the good traders. Those who don't know, Market Cipher actually sponsored a couple of the Triller fighters this weekend. And what was their names? Just one more time. We'll give them a little shout out here.
It was Platinum Mike Perry and the legendary Frank Mir.
All right,
were our two
Platinum Mike
fighters.
Perry.
And
That's
so,
a good name, man. They're a good fighter when they have a good name. Sugar Ray, All right, well, let's get right into the lightning round. It's everyone's favorite part. Boom, look at that graphic. Our power levels have hit 9,000. However, our likes, not even 900. So go ahead and get those likes up. Hit those likes. Hit that subscribe button. But all right, the lightning round question for today, who's going to have a better December, Cardano or XRP? Tom, we're going to start with you. What is looking more bullish for December? Cardano, XRP? We got the gang. They're fighting in the chat right now. What's it going to be?
Oof. That's a great question. They're honestly both, to me, looking very strong. ADA has some serious support at $1.31. I don't have my charts in front of me because I'm on the road, but I remember even months ago saying this could be like the next bear market bottom, $1.31. This is a serious support. It broke it. We have new all-time highs, and it's coming back and testing, that previous, I think, monthly close. I think ADA is looking really strong. I wouldn't undercount XRP, though. I'm not a huge fan personally of XRP, but charts are charts, and I think it's very undervalued historically versus Bitcoin. That's a hard call, man. I don't have an answer. I think they both are likely to have a very explosive December.
All right, so you'd split it 50-50. So we have two different indicators. We have a monthly looking very bullish for Cardano, and then we have the XRP Bitcoin pair looking very bullish for XRP. So all right, we'll let you slide with that. You're on the road and you don't have your chart, so we're not gonna break your what's too bad for that. So all right, Crypto Face, what is it looking good for you? What's the hot buy for December? Is it going to be Cardano or XRP? Do you think?
Oh man. Definitely. I don't know what Tom's talking about with Cardano. It looks god awful to me. Both are down 53% from their tops. If I had to choose one, I would definitely take Ripple, just because they have something tangible with their lawsuit stuff. Where if they win, we know the price would pump off that, and if they lose, the price would go to wherever it was going to go anyways. Man. Cardano's got some real problems, and what I mean is Charles, and I'm not an expert on Cardano, but that guy would make the best dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, because he'd have a never-ending story. And so I don't know what they're trying to create. I know it's the same story with Cardano every time. Like, what are they doing? When are they going to come out with something? I believe like their golden ratio with Fib from like the bottom of the top, it's like $1.20 something, maybe something there. So I'd have to take Ripple, but right now there's like a little maybe curve, like maybe something can come up, but on the last one before it just ended up being nothing. It was just a little bit up and then a lot more down. And so I'm not seeing really any good confirmations as far as reversals on Cardano or Ripple. So but I have a bag of Ripple. My brother, I was just talking to my brother. his Cardano bag is holding back all his other gains, and so we were just talking about him dumping that and putting it into Ripple. So yeah.
Okay. All right, so with XRP, we have a non-linear upside with the lawsuit news. We could all of a sudden hear some crazy news breaking in the next 20 seconds, and then boom, we'll see that giant pop. So you're saying because of that, it's a possible play for you, but neither one really looking. Now, here's a quick question, semi-related, Crypto Face. Who would be a better dungeon master, Charles Hoskinson or Richard Hart?
Ooh, I'd probably go with Richard Hart because Charles. They're both kind of boring. They go on boring tangents sometimes, but Charles is way more boring.
I would say Richard Hart because then you got the mood. You got like weird red velvet drapes probably behind you and stuff, and you're probably sitting on some like chair with skulls
I vote
on the
Richard Hart
armrest.
too.
Yeah. All right, Gareth. Now we're gonna ask you here: who is gonna have a better December, a Cardano holder or an XRP holder? What are the charts telling you?
All right, so let's go to the charts here. I'm more in Tom's camp here. The daily chart on Cardano hit major pivots from June, July, and August right here, as you guys can see. Look at that beautiful little pierce to that level. The reversal actually put in what's called a bottoming tail, which is a reversal signal telling you there was a major amount of buying going on there. So short term for December. So December obviously is short term. I think upside maybe to $2, maybe just above $2. On the Ripple side, again, it's a little trickier, right? Because you're waiting on hearing about this SEC news and all that kind of stuff. The chart's really just consolidating sideways, which is telling you exactly what we all know. There's buyers, there's sellers, they're banking on, is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? So I'd say the risky play is Ripple, where if it's positive, this thing could go to $2-3. But if you want to play the chart, the pure chart, then Cardano's your play right there.
All right, now what if with that XRP chart you had right there, what if it hits that trend line on the bottom? Would you consider that equal value to Cardano hitting its trend line with the with this line where it had its previous highs?
Yeah, I would. If we could get a sell-off in crypto across the board, I'd probably play a speculative position on the long side there just because of the major trend line there connecting the lows going back to late 2020. And then, again, I would never invest a ton in this because of that risk, but it would be a spot where I would give it a shot, absolutely.
All right, I'm liking it. All right, well, Jayson Casper, we're going to ask you now, who is going to have the better December, Cardano or XRP? And they're still fighting in the chat. I'm seeing ADA, FTW. I'm seeing Cardano. Looks like ADA is beating out the XRP army in the chat at least. But what's it looking like for you for December?
Well, the thing is, I'm actually really big into Cardano in general. I've been hodling this thing since 2017, and I actually do believe in the project. But on a technical level, me and Cardano, we have a history, right? I started dating her back when she was very, very cheap. And then recently, when she was $1.80, I asked her on a nice date. I longed her right from $1.80. It went really well. I met her parents. I went over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. But then we had we had a really bad argument, man. And she just started dumping down. And I saw these bullish signs on market Cipher B, and I thought maybe we could fix the relationship. But I have to tell you guys, last week I did give a call for support right at $1.46, and I will let that thing come down to we have very, very strong support at $1.30, $1.33. We have the point of control, the highest volume node that Cardano traded during the entire springtime. And it's also a very strong monthly level of support. And so I am currently building longs for Cardano. I will say it unabashedly, okay? She is my girl. And we do have a future together. So I have to say Cardano 100%. 100%.
All right. Unabashedly, he said he is long. There's a green dot on his love for Cardano for sure. All right. I love to see it. The chat was going nuts. They love that. Even the basement chat. Probably because we all know the basement chat doesn't get dates, but no, they're loving everything they're seeing there. All right, well, let's get right into the topics. We definitely want to get enough time to talk about Bitcoin and what it's looking like for December. So let's get into this Jack Dorsey topic. I think we have a picture right here. This is Jack Dorsey as he sees someone send him 1 Bitcoin hoping to get 2 back. He's like, what are you doing, man? But so he is stepping down as CEO. They're naming Parag, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Agrawal as the CEO. He is the former CTO. He's been there over 10 years. He worked on their initiative where they're trying to get into the, their Web3 and the decentralization efforts. It's Blue Sky, I think. Yeah, so he's working on Blue Sky. He's CTO for 10 years. So this is probably one that aligns with Jack Dorsey. Again, this is speculative, but he probably aligns with Jack Dorsey when it comes to Bitcoin, Web3, decentralized model versus, Web2 and the centralized models that we see now. So he's stepping down. This is a huge change. Jack Dorsey, he's done a lot for Bitcoin. He's added a lot of adoption with the Square, with the Bitcoin tipping feature on Twitter. He's definitely doing a lot of things. Now, I'm going to just ask you, Tom, do you think Twitter is going to be a crypto ally continuing into the future? Or do you think this is mostly just Jack Dorsey behind the scenes and then, the board is just going to step in and say, all right, enough of this Bitcoin nonsense? What do you think is like the next 12, 24 months hold?
Yeah, that's the first time I heard this news, the last 24 hours, that it scared me a little bit. I was a little spooked, man. Dorsey's been one of the biggest advocates with the most reach and really passionate, it seems, about decentralization. And so that scared me at first. I did a little research into, as he said, I believe Mr. Agrawal, sorry, I probably butchered it. He seems in favor of decentralization, so I am feeling that they're likely to continue carrying that torch forward. But without Dorsey, it's going to be hindered a little bit. I don't love this news, but what I'm really hoping here, and I think is a logical move for Dorsey, is to focus on Square and likely to focus maybe even just on Bitcoin and integration, with traditional networks more. I really get the vibe that that's what he's going for here. I don't think this is a peace Twitter thing. I think it's I want to narrow down, I want to buckle down, and I want to focus on this.
All right, so you think he might use his sway as a shareholder to maybe continue them going in the, well, we all agree is probably the right direction. So all right, good to hear. Pretty bullish. I like it. So Gareth, this is purely speculation, but you're from the traditional stock era, and not era, but with these companies, we've seen these activist investors. They'll step in, they'll buy a bunch of shares, Bill Ackman or something. And, we saw Jack Dorsey, he was almost fired not that long ago. I think it was, about a couple years ago. So do you see this as something that was voluntary, or is there some maybe behind the scenes maneuvering going on where, he's maybe stopping a public spat and just stepping down now peacefully versus trying to drag some out in a public fight 2 months from now? What do you think's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, just being in the stock world, there's been a lot of pressure on him for years, actually, to kind of pick one company, Square or Twitter, because again, as a CEO running two companies, I mean, his time is split, and the feeling from investors is you can never devote 100% then to either company, so each company suffers. So my guess is, though, I mean, there might be a little investor pressure, but, if I'm Jack Dorsey, I mean, how many times have we seen him dragged in front of Congress to testify and get yelled at? I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, I'm done, just focus on Square, go into the more crypto side of things, which is where obviously he wants to go. He doesn't want to have to get dragged in front of these panels all the time. So that's where I'm thinking. I mean, I think his beard tells it all. He wants to be a mountain man. He wants to have a cabin somewhere. He doesn't want to be in the public eye as much. And I think that's kind of where it's headed. Yeah,
I agree. Chat's always crazy with their the cool uncle meme. Gareth is the cool uncle that taught you the practical use of a pocket protector. That's in the Twitch chat. Love to see it. All right, you guys are too much. Now, Crypto Face, you famously called any coin not Bitcoin a poop coin. I've heard you kind of come around to Ethereum a little bit. Now, should Bitcoin, it's being adopted pretty heavily in the Twitter ecosystem. Should Twitter continue trying to adopt Bitcoin tech, or do you think they should just jump to a new protocol, something shinier? Or are you just if it's not Bitcoin, it's garbage? So do you agree with that they should just stick with Bitcoin? Or, I mean, how do you feel about all that?
Well, just because something's a poo coin doesn't mean that it can't be a good poo coin. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm not like some Bitcoin maximalist or something. You know what I mean? Twitter is kind of it's a real beast, and Jack Dorsey, was the birther to that beast, and so like all the toxicity and kind of the I think of Twitter as like a bunch of slimy eel in a white bucket. And, the man's been up there. That's a stressful position for a long time. As far as cryptocurrency goes, I'd imagine they'll probably end up trying to come up with their own coin of some sorts if they haven't already. And, the crypto part, if they keep on going, his guy is going to be probably pro crypto. you know, and his tech guy has been behind some pretty masterful algorithms and tracking. So I imagine it's going to keep going down that path. And I think he's not as Jack was did really do well at kind of listening to different opinions. And I wonder if he sees him as being able to do that as well, kind of like taking over. So, but yeah, it's tough running two companies. I don't really know too much about what Twitter's really doing with crypto. But the more they do, sure, the more people that get in, the better. So just hopefully, I was just thinking it's there's been like tracking with thoughts. I've thought about a shovel, and then a shovel comes up in my feed Twitter advertisement. So stuff gets kind of scary, with all these technology. So hopefully, things go well.
All right. Well, that's good to learn. You could think something's a shiz coin, we'll call it, but it doesn't mean that it is shiz. Maybe it is the shiz. So, all right. It's good to learn. We're learning a little crypto face lexicon here. All right. Now, Jayson, Gareth kind of alluded, he just wants to grow his beard out, change his nose ring, and maybe he wants to just live the rest of his days out on the farm, milking the cows and, plowing the fields and, plucking rhubarbs out of the ground. I don't know what you do on your farm personally. And chat saying you're in a Gold's Gym bathroom. I don't think that's accurate. But, they're maybe they are doing that. Who knows what they're doing. But do you think, is he going to retire in the sunset, riding a horse like he's Clint Eastwood? Or do you think Jack is just still going to continue working on Bitcoin tech, maybe behind the scenes, or, maybe going back to his original passion, like coding or something?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, this is an LA Fitness gym bathroom, not a Gold's Gym.
Okay.
And
see, chat, I told you it wasn't Gold's.
Yeah, not Gold. Sorry, too expensive for me. But the dude, Jack Dorsey, I've always liked him, right? As far as social media CEOs go, he's been the most human, right? Honestly.
Yeah.
And the dude has aged 70 years in the past 5 years, right? I mean, look at the beard, man. I mean, if I could grow a beard like that, I don't know if I'll be able to do it until, I'm 75, 80, and I'm only 60 now. So I personally think if I was him, that's a very high stress situation. I would kind of want to get the heck out of there and just, I would still be heavily involved in cryptocurrency, but I would just not want to do it under such stressful situations.
He looks stressed
right now.
He looks stressed right there. So I tend to agree with your assessment there. Yeah, it's like the president, right? And I think, as Gareth said, he was the CEO of two companies. That is going to split your time a little bit. So yeah, no, I mean, maybe it's a well-deserved rest, maybe. But let's talk Bitcoin. Everyone, we want to talk about Bitcoin. It's December tomorrow. I mean, we got December coming up. This is Bitcoin's month historically during the bull market years. It has been in the past. Will it change? We will find out. Obviously, we got 32 days till the end of the month, so it's coming whether we like it or not. So 26 Bitcoin, it dropped about 5% just on an hourly candle. It was a new low of 53,000 in November. We had the previous high. Depending on what chart you looked at, we touched around 69,000 there. Now, let's get into the technicals here. Now, Gareth, why did Bitcoin fall so much over the past week? Was this a technical thing, or was there, fundamentals that maybe drove the narrative?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was mostly technical. I'm a technical guy, so that's where I'm going to kind of go to. But again, you just had so much bullish sentiment, so many smaller buyers piling in around that 65,000 plus level, and it really left no one else to buy it, right? I mean, unless these big companies were going to come in, these big whales were going to come in, which we haven't seen. I mean, when was the last time a publicly traded company said that they were going to accumulate Bitcoin? I mean, it's been a long time now. So again, you need a washout. I've talked about how the stock market really plays a role in crypto because of leverage. So you have a lot of leverage in the stock market. When the stock market takes a hit, like what we saw is last Friday when Bitcoin started to decline, that's when you also had a stock market big decline as well. So it's all tied together with leverage. And if the stock market falls, you're going to see more downside on Bitcoin. I would just like to say I was looking to buy this level the other day. You can see this pivot high right here at 52,500 and this trend line sloping up. Notice how those two lines come close together around 52,000. I was really hoping to get it the other day, and it just came to about 53 and change and then bounced. On a short-term basis, if you want to look for a bullish signal, see this wide range bar. It's a huge, nasty red bar from, I believe it was Friday. If any of these days can close above that and negate it. So basically a close, let's say at 59,000, that would be a short-term bullish signal for upside, probably to 60 to 62,000. So, again, it's for me, it's a watching of the stock market as well as cryptocurrency for kind of signals here. And I'm kind of mixed about the price action right now.
All right, and you guys couldn't see, but like we're all watching the chart. Like, you get that daily. So I think we're all pretty much agreeing with that. Yeah, November, it's coming to a close. December, like we said, historically, those to be good. Now, Gareth, just real quick, are you worried about tax liabilities, any kind of sell-offs, or do you think, is that on your radar at all with the end of the year coming up?
Not so much for me. I think if you saw Bitcoin more significantly off of its highs, you might see some tax loss selling. That's very common in the stock market, where stocks that are down, they'll be sold into year end so that people can offset their gains with the losses and then pay less taxes. But Bitcoin's hovering near the highs. I mean, relatively near the highs. So I think it's probably okay going into year end.
All right. Well, let's go to the guy without the collar here to talk about the blue collar guy. This is the regular farmer out there, the hardworking. I don't want to sound like Bruce Springsteen here, but a lot of hardworking Americans out here. Now, Jayson, when there's a lot of narratives that happened today and over the past few days that really should seem like it moved the needle, right? We have Michael Saylor bought 7,002 Bitcoin. I don't know why 7,002 instead of 7,000. Maybe like price went down, so they were able to buy a couple more. But Saylor bought 7,000. We had El Salvador; they bought more Bitcoin. But to the average investor, not looking at a market cipher, not looking at daily closes, do you think that moves the needle at all?
I have to be honest with you. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if news events come out in ways that the people are actually looking at the charts before they make the news story, because whether Bitcoin is going to pump, whether it's going to dump, you will always see that in the chart. I don't care if Elon tweets or whatever. Maybe it'll move it a little bit. I mean, when Elon tweeted back in February, just hashtag Bitcoin, I mean, it was literally the most bullish environment you could possibly ask for. So did he move it, or did he have someone looking at Market Cipher B telling him, hey, Elon, grab your Twitter, man. Come out of your Twitter closet and just start tweeting away?
Yeah, no, you sound like that's something Ben Armstrong says. BitBoy says the same thing. A lot of the Elon tweets timing was a little circumspect, and especially when you look at the technicals and the fundamentals, it looks like it was just ready to explode one direction anyway. So, and then it's just time, kind of coincidentally, maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting theory. Who knows? All right, now, Tom, what are the charts telling you? I mean, are we looking good for December? I mean, do we need to close that daily? Kind of what Gareth was saying. What are the charts looking for, for Tom Crown?
Yeah, I love Gareth's analysis. This is the first time I've heard him, checked him out. I loved what he said. I'm going to talk from more of just a crypto investor, because I don't have a stock background. Crypto investor background here. When we see these cycle peaks, so we're looking for, our blow off top, we're looking for our huge gain. The price action we're seeing is really what I would expect. And what that is we're seeing these rallies that are very easily doubted. They retrace, but they don't really make it back to the obvious, the significant levels of support. So for me, that would be, Gareth mentioned 52. I would say like 51, 52, we have a daily and a weekly untested resistance there. That's where the logical investor would look to re-enter. And if I know anything about Bitcoin, if we're about to see an explosive December, this is what I would expect, is it for it to just kind of graze by that support, not actually fill people and take off. If we fall significantly below 50 or something like that, I might get a little worried. But honestly, this is par for the course for me. I have about 0% worry of where Bitcoin is right now. I think worst case scenario, we see this spill over into Q1 or Q2. We haven't really seen that happen before in a cycle. But there's no rule or anything that says it can't happen.
So just to be clear, over the next 6 months, a year, you definitely don't think like 68, 69 was the top.
My opinion, 100% is top is not in, not even close.
Right. And his opinion, 100% certain. All right, I like it. All right, now Crypto Face. Speaking of, bearish, bullish, is it going up? Is it going down? I know Ben gave you a little flack for saying, hey, maybe that was the top. a little salty, maybe that you said sell in May, walk away. Jayson will skip leg day. I don't know where that part of the rhyme came from, but so right now I don't know whether you're bearish or you're bullish. I'll let you maybe clarify a little there if you want, but if you're not bearish, at what percentage drop would you turn bearish? It fell about 20% from its all-time high. Is there a percentage that you would say like, oh, this is really bad, or is it more of a spider line thing, or are you just going off the spider lines?
Yeah, so we're looking at Bitcoin on the daily here. Rate here would be 100,000 by the end of December. To me, this is totally natural. Bitcoin loves just making these impulse waves. And Bitcoin's favorite number is 4 followed by 3. So I absolutely think we could have like a third one. Maybe, not come up to 100K, although it could. As far as percentages go, from the price now to 100,000 is 60-80%. And each, if we go back here, boom, boom, to this top, 60%. The other one, 60%. So we could. I don't think we're going to hit 100,000 by the end of December. I'm sticking with that bet. I'm not going to talk any smack until January 1st. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those who don't know, Ben and CryptoFace have a bet. Will Bitcoin hit 100,000 by the end of the year? What was the bet again?
You guys can look it up. We don't need to go over it. But this week's candle that printed kind of gave us hope a little bit. It was looking kind of bad, but if we actually look at like the 3-day, the 4-day, we're starting to get some really powerful, nice curvature on the VWAP. Zoom to the 2-day, we're coming in, hour curve coming up, momentum coming up. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. And the end of the month is ending and the beginning of the month is starting in a couple days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a nice little move. Looking at the 6-hour, ETH looks a little better actually. Let me pull up the charts. Not as long. Look at the 2-hour, the 2-day on Ethereum. Beautiful momentum waves coming up. Nice tight trigger wave right here. Nice VWAP coming up. Money flow came down, but money's been increasing back up again. And the strength is good. DVSI good. I think it looks good. This was a pretty nasty drop. It was a pretty good nasty drop, but it's not out of the ordinary. And if I had to guess, I would keep it simple and say maybe end of the year mid 70,000s would be like my best case. Resistance right here. We have like Gareth says that he loved the head and shoulders neckline resistance. That's right in here. A lot of Fibonacci stuff. A lot of resistances in here. So we actually were pretty healthy right here. We hung up here for a good little while. And so right now, totally natural. And we could technically come down, to 45,000 and still technically be okay. We would still be at a higher low. But if we bounce up here, man, I'm thinking mid 70s would be healthy and good, and then we'll see what happens next.
Did we gain enough on the 2-day to get out of bear flag pennant? I'm not sure if I saw one form in there. It was zoomed a little funny on the 2-day there. It looked like maybe we had a little bear flag on the 2-day. Maybe not. It was the one. It looked really good all of a sudden. Is that the 2-day?
You can ask Gareth that question, but on the chat, candles, I'm not really seeing any. I think honestly, when I look at like the shorter time frame right now, I'm actually looking for one more maybe little pullback. I think momentum's going to be curving back over. Maybe we have a pullback down to 54K or maybe somewhere in between. So that's where I'm going to be looking to get in. I missed this entry because I was partying all weekend, but I'm going to be keeping my eye for one more drop to Bitcoin, 54.50, somewhere in between, and then we'll see what it looks like. And I want to ride this pony too, just like everybody else.
Yeah, you got a CryptoFace talk about ride and curvature, and DZ gets excited. It's looking like a good month. And if you're feeling bullish after all this, go ahead and hit that like button. And the best thing about this episode, when we had one of the traders sharing the charts, everybody else, we're all just like nodding, and because we all love trading, we all like breaking down the charts. It's a little bit of math. It's a little bit. They say it's just horoscope for crypto people, but you know what? To me, I like it. So I unabashedly, I'm gonna steal that word now, Jayson. I unabashedly love it. So that is all we got time for today. It looked like CryptoFace stole it from Gareth right there at the end. I think it was the spider lines, and reminding me of the bet. Face, I think I would have. My money's on Face so far, but you know, I can't. I can only say that because Ben's gone right now. But we'll see. But Crypto Face, you had a heck of a weekend, and you just won ATB. So go ahead and leave us with some parting thoughts, man.
Oh man, I feel bad for winning this one. I feel like I didn't do that good of a job this episode, and I was late, so I'm sorry. Man, this has to be my favorite cast right here. These are all guys that I actually legitimately watch, including you, DZ, Tom, my friend Billy Casper, Jayson Casper, and if you don't know who Gareth Soloway is, he's a total god. And it's a pleasure sharing some time with you, DZ, man. You know, you're my boy, and so. I'm still riding that crow train. You know, if there's a coin that I'm looking for long term, like over the next year or so, they're buying, they're doing big things. They're getting airport chill zones and stuff. So I'm trying to check out their whole private jet thing, because private jet prices are going up. Everyone's buying private jets right now, and I'm trying to get me some of that. But yeah, so I like crow, and I'm buying that and holding it and forgetting about it. And I'm trying to 20, 50, 100x that shit, 200x in a year or two. And thank you very much.
All right. Shout out to Jason Lee. Shout out to Jayson Casper, Gareth Soloway, Crypto Phase, Tom Crown. It's been a great episode. And that is all we got time for. We'll be in Miami tomorrow. And until then, see you later, BitSquad. DZ out.